All right, boys. Gentlemen, welcome back. Uh, Long requested armor passives tier list. We've got armor stats pulled up. Got the game pulled up, of course. Uh, First thing, just got a note. Okay, when you're talking about armors, the thing they don't show in game is the total stamina stat, even though they have a space for it right here. But so basically, just so you know, light armors 125 stamina total, medium armors 100 stamina total, heavy heavy only has 50 stamina total. So twice the decrease from medium to heavy as it is from light to medium. Just so you all know. But getting into passives here, we're going to start with extra padding, which basically just adds a 50 armor rating to. Let me find one. Here's one. Yeah, the gunner here just provides a higher armor rating of about 50 to a you know chest plate here. Honestly, uh, unless you got opinion on this, I think it's just I think it's like a B tier thing. It's like it's all right.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a fan. There's some good outfits too with it. There's a lot of good outfits with it too, so it's like you gotta think about cosmetics,
Yep.
sometimes. But yeah, I like the White Wolf, provides higher armor rating. Honestly, I think it's solid when you don't know what you're picking. So I think B is fine.
It's also what all the I think it's what all the base armors come with. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, having 150 with medium or having 100 with light is it's pretty good, not bad. Moving on, the scout armor. Okay, if you're running a solo game here, it's pretty useful. There is stealth that basically trivializes a lot of the game. So if you're doing that kind of build, it's probably S tier. However,
Yeah, I would say.
I would say in a team
I
game,
mean,
it can still be useful. What do you think?
um, it gives a higher armor rating for one of them that I have. I don't know. Does it have it for all of them? Because I got one that has 70 armor rating, 530 speed, and 115
Oh, those are
stamina
like
regen.
oh yeah, there's halfway in between armors. So, for example, if I go to
I mean, the
medium,
the scout passive in general. Yeah, if you're just doing solo, it's kind of like the go-to.
absolutely. But in a team, I would say you know what? Uh, it's
If
basically
I
I mean
put
if
it,
you know how to use it, it's S tier, honestly. Uh, even in a team
I
game, you just,
mean,
just if you're just
I think
soloing while your
I
team's
think
distracting, it's perfect.
A. I'd put it at A because it's like most of the time I'm working with a team.
True,
I'm not gonna
true,
lie,
true, true,
I'm
true.
not using it that much,
Okay,
so it's like I'll probably do A.
we'll say solo
I'll
S
say
tier.
low A
Solo S tier, I
for me.
guess. I'd say A in general. Because honestly, most people aren't going to use this to its full potential. Most people aren't playing solo. So if we're gonna
And
do
most people aren't min-maxing shit
yeah,
either,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll say A. We'll say A. We'll give the solo players their just dues there, but yeah. Fortified. Now this, I believe this is yeah, this is a this is fucking peak. This fortified
S
might
tier.
be the best passive in the entire game,
Yeah, I agree.
especially against bots, but also key thing here. So it reduces 50% resistance to explosive damage. Now that's friendly and enemy. Now a lot of enemy types you wouldn't think it's explosives, but bile is an explosive damage type. So it actually reduces the damage you're taking from bile. Also, the reduce to recoil when crouching or prone. Uh, Peak. It's just brilliant. You're wielding a heavy machine gun or something. It just
Yeah,
makes things a lot easier.
like the previous tier list we had with the guns, with the machine gun and heavy machine gun. Those were good, and if you have this, it basically is like the bread and butter.
Yeah, you're getting a
So
lot of
I'd
value
say
with this
I'd say
thing.
this as you could use. First of all, like defeating bots, period, is just it's literally the counter to bots. So I'd say S for sure.
Yeah, no, there's no question. The bot missile spam is high immediately countered by this shit.
You actually,
Engineering kit,
with
more grenades basically. Let me pull up one here. Sorry, don't use this one too often. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so engineering kit, right?
like
You get the recoil down from same with fortified, so that's a good. section of the passive. Increasing inventory and holding capacity of throwables by 2. Uh, here's what it is.
I mean, that's giving you more ammo
2
for
more
your
thermites, pretty good. 2 more knives, not so good. 2 more smokes, 2 more of nothing. 2 more seekers, kind of fun. 2 more stuns. Wow. Okay. But honestly, I would
Like,
say it has some utility, especially on
it
thermites.
definitely has its use. I just haven't used it enough because I'd rather just go something else. I'm not gonna lie.
I would
Like,
say. I would
like
say
unless you're
it's
doing something, unless you're doing
the.
this for bugs and like trying to make sure you have enough nades to like kill all the bug holes.
Yeah, I would say
Like that's like
it's B. It's not great. It's not bad. Depending on the build you have, it can shine. Like if you're using thermites as your main heavy anti-heavy material, but otherwise, it's like there's better options. There's better options if you're doing like a normal build, I'd say. So we'll put it in like probably low B. Um, next up is a med kit. Now this one, it's a similar
I think
idea,
it's actually pretty
but it's
good.
actually yeah. So having
The
2
fact that this
stims,
stim effect is going up by 2 or it's going to 2 seconds is kind of huge.
yeah, you combo this thing with pull it up. You combo it with this experimental infusion. I mean, it's just they go hand in hand, and also it's good. Having 2 extra stims is just good. It's just good. And I know, so maybe you're running with a supply pack, but 2 extra stims is pretty solid. You can't really go wrong with the medic.
I'd say it's pretty
Honestly,
S tier.
it's pretty. I would say uh, A or S, A or S, high A or S. Because
It's
I mean,
definitely. I mean, with the combo, I think it's S for
with
sure.
the
But it's
combo,
like,
yes, but in terms of utility, I think Fortified is going to have to stay in S tier by itself for now. Um,
yeah, okay. I say high A. Yeah.
yeah, high A. We'll put it in front of
I
Scout.
won't lie though. The downside, I'd say A because the downside is a lot of the armor it comes are kind of ugly. So that
This
I
is
think.
true. This is true aesthetically,
The Bone Snapper looks good.
unless
The
you really like,
Physician is kind of mid. Some of the other ones are kind of mid.
yeah, unless you really like
The
doctor
green, it's only
shows and the green.
green.
I mean,
The thing is,
it's
it's
just
only green. A
they don't
lot of
really
these are
have
only green.
they need like a white lab coat armor. Where the hell's the white lab coat? They don't even have that. They just have green and red. All right.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, we got Democracy Protects. Let's go gambling, bro. I used to use this armor all the fucking time, and
Ah, it's pretty.
it's all right. It's not great.
I think it's like B.
Preventing all damage from bleeding is not very useful. You don't really bleed out. I don't even know if you. I don't honestly. It feels like they patched bleeding out from the game because I have never bled out in my fucking life since at launch. Yes, but after launch, like never.
Yeah, they definitely nerfed the bleeding. Like you take forever to bleed.
However, I would say it's generally more than a 50% chance. But the problem with this armor is that depending on the enemy you're fighting, some of the things will attack in quick succession. And then also, when you get blown up, you might survive the initial explosion, but then the impact might kill you. So it's like from falling, right? So it's really usually when you're
I'd
gambling with this
say
thing, you're
B.
gambling more than once because a lot of enemies are like double tapping, triple tapping, um, you know. So
Now, if you're pretty lucky though, if you're a high stakes gambler, then this is a go-to armor. But I'd say B.
yeah, if you are a professional gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, servo assisted. I'm gonna say C tier. Let's be honest. 50% limb health does not fucking matter. Hardly fucking matters. And
Yeah.
increased throwing range by 30%. Hey, you know what increases throwing range by 30%? Fucking diving. Okay? And sure, you can throw a little farther with this thing, but at the end of the day, that type of range, like for the passives you're getting, 50% limb health really doesn't do much, and then increased throwing range by 30%. Like you can get increased throwing range just from normally like diving or doing that kind of thing. So if you really don't want to get close to the enemy, I guess, but also you're kind of a fucking pussy if you're using this thing.
They
Okay?
should like they should really buff that. Like if it was like
50%.
50%,
50% I could see.
50%, and if they up the limb health thing too, like honestly, I might actually
If
use
they
it,
gave
but
you, see, this is the problem.
what's it at? It's like I'm not using that. I'm never using
This,
that.
why you're getting like a mechanical arm with this thing, right? Your servo assisted armor. Why does it not give you more melee damage?
True, true.
Like some of these armors have a fucking mechanical hand. Let me find one. Yeah, like this one. It has a metal arm. Why do you not get more melee damage with this armor? Like if it gave you a little bit more melee damage and increased the throwing range to like 40 or 50, I'd say it'd be a solid B, maybe high B. But right now, it's C. It's absolutely C. Um, Next up, electrical conduit. Uh, yeah. I wish. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to write in an F tier here. That's
Yeah,
fucking F
that's the
tier,
first
dude.
F tier, dude. Yeah, okay. If you're going electrical build, whatever. Sure, get it. But like,
It's just
first of all, the build sucks. No one cares. It's terrible.
where the hell is
Next.
the armor again? Hold on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the piece of shit armor. First of all, it gives you only this passive. So only one passive, and it's resistance to arc damage, which is basically non-existent in any of the enemy factions. The only thing you're really using this thing for is yourself and the Illuminate Tripod. But if you're getting that close to an Illuminate Tripod, well, I mean, you shouldn't.
Go back
Uh,
to special education.
yeah, go
Like,
back, go
come
back
on.
to fucking boot camp because you shouldn't be running up so close to those things. Anyway,
I think they'd probably kick you out.
however, if maybe the new Illuminate will have a bunch of arc weapons, but until that happens, this is fucking F tier. You never need this thing. There is like one extremely niche scenario where you might need this thing, and it's only because you put yourself in a bad position or are throwing your electric stratagems right next to yourself. So there we go. Peak physique. Okay, I like this armor. Are you aware of this armor?
No, I don't know if I
It's
have it.
the it increases melee damage by 100% and improves weapons handling, which is basically ergonomics. And it improves it by a significant, very noticeable degree. Like you will handle the heavy machine gun much better. Um, However, so the melee damage, right? Obviously now we have melee weapons. This thing's a bit more useful. You know, you're holding a combat hatchet. It helps. It helps. It helps a lot. So if you're doing a melee build, some people might want heavy armor, but I could see this armor having a niche there. Also, if you just want
Oh yeah.
your heavy weapons to feel easy to use, better ergonomics on that heavy machine gun, for example,
Uh,
it's pretty good for that. However, I would say it's
why would
really
you not just go like?
just
Why
B
would you
tier.
just? Why would you not just go the other
It's in
the one with the
general, so it
crouching?
improves weapons handling regardless of if you're crouching, prone, or so you're still getting the compounding from crouching, proning with this, but you have better ergonomics even when standing, which is pretty solid. Like the degree to which it does it is pretty noticeable. So it just feels good to use this armor, frankly. But in terms of actual value, there are other armors, for example, 45, which still gives you recoil reduction. Not exactly ergonomics, but it's still good, giving you a similar thing. And honestly, melee is
If you go melee build, yeah, that's
if
pretty
you
fun.
do a melee build, it's fun, but it's not exactly the most useful. So I would say it's B tier, probably low B. Maybe we'll say mid B. It's all right. It's definitely probably more preferable to democracy protects. Maybe let's say it. Say it's like right here. I'll say kind of like gambling. We're gonna put democracy protects ahead of engineering kit. Okay, inflammable. All right. If you're doing a fire build, this is S tier, obviously. However, in general,
Yeah,
the enemies do not really do fire damage. So this is really just to protect yourself from your own and your teammates' damage.
but you can also use the heat gun. The heat guns that overheat. What the sickle is it called,
Oh
right?
yeah. Pull that up for the people
You
watching here.
you
This gun,
you
the
need
double-edged
that.
sickle.
You need that armor in order to use that
Not
weapon.
necessarily,
But
actually. Wait. There is a free armor, the obedient, right, with the acclimated, and that 50% resistance to fire does negate the fire damage pretty much just as well as the 75% damage resistance from the inflammable passive. So you don't actually need this armor, but if you're doing a fire build, it's S tier. And it is fun as hell to do a fire build. So I'm going to put it, in general, it's not the most useful, but for specific builds, it's pretty good. So if you're doing a fire build, I'd say A tier. And honestly, fire builds are pretty fun. So we're gonna put in low A actually. Who gives a shit? It's low A. Because I mean, you're not gonna use this thing if you're not using a fire build. So it only makes sense
That
to
one I've
evaluate it
actually used,
from a
so I
fire build.
agree.
Yeah, like from a fire build, which is the only reason you'd be using this thing. It's A tier. So therefore, there we go. Next up, advanced filtration, which is from the gas.
Bro, who's using gas, bro?
Who is using gas
2025
by itself? I understand the dog breath, guard dog, but if you're using like the sterilizer or gas grenades are fine, gas mines are fine, but like if you actually have a full gas class, gas doesn't even do that much damage quickly. It's not nearly as deadly as fire, for example. So I would say it's not as useful as the fire passive. So we're gonna put it in low B. I mean, I guess if you're doing a full gas build, it's okay, but full gas build isn't necessarily the best. I think the best build is mixing the two. For example, fire armor with a guard dog breath. So you have a thing distracting the enemies, getting them off your back, and then you can just fire them while they're, their head is full of, whatever the hell poison they have in that thing. It makes it pretty easy pickings when you combo them. But by itself, like a full gas build, not that great, I'd say. Pretty mid. Any last notes here?
No, yeah, I kind of agree with you. So
Okay. Unflinching F tier.
yeah. Oh,
So
really?
we're trying to be funny here. But I'm not fucking joking. This thing is let me find it. It's terrible. Helps prevent Helldivers from flinching when hit. So this does not mean your character will not visibly flinch. All it really helps you with, and funny how it's the only passive this thing provides, it doesn't give you anything else, just this, is that if you're aiming a railgun, for example, and you're about to shoot and an enemy tries to hit you with like a light attack that doesn't knock you down or anything, your aim will stay the same and it will not flinch like off of your shot. So you'll hit the shot, but if the enemy hits you with anything heavier, you're going and it's like pushing you down. You're not going to hit. So it's only actually useful in a very specific scenario where you're getting hit by light enough arms, like laser shots from the bots or something, to not knock you down or push you back, or like by a small bug. And the amount of times you'll ever be in that scenario where like your shot would have hit if you hadn't got flinched, like there's definitely cases, but it's not at all useful compared to any of the other armors in this game. Like that's a very minor scenario that could happen, and it's really not that big of a fucking deal. If the armor did something else, I'd like
I
it, but
agree.
it doesn't.
Also, like, why are you putting yourself in a position to even get hit like that?
True. Get
Like,
better.
just pull your weapon, like, kill the. There are probably small people next to you, so it's like pretty useless. Yeah, I agree.
Next up, Siege Ready. This is easy A tier. Actually, Siege Ready is probably S tier. I mean, just look at this shit. Increases reload speed of primary weapons by 30%. Increases ammo capacity of primary weapons by 20%. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure it increases ammo for every weapon. Sidearms, so sidearms and primary. It actually might also increase ammo for stratagems. So, last I used it, it did. So, with that in mind, this is peak. You just get a fuck ton
primary
more
weapon
ammo.
counts as stratagems?
No, so what it does is increases ammo capacity for primary weapons is what it says, but it actually increases ammo for every single gun in your kit. Last I checked.
Oh, so is it just bugged?
It was bugged, but they didn't fix it. They specifically did not fix it. Now it might not apply to stratagems anymore, but I'm pretty sure it still applies to secondaries, which just makes it great. You get more ammo on your primary and your secondary, and increased reload speed for the primary. It's just
That's pretty
it's just
nice.
good. It's just good. You run a
Yeah, if you got a good primary you're running, and you're just fucking shit up with it.
like a tenderizer. I can see that being useful.
Yeah, tenderizer.
Or a reprimand. This thing has a long reload time. It helps. Next up, acclimated. It gives you 50% resistance to fire, gas, acid, and electrical damage, but nothing else. So it's not particularly great. at resisting all those things, but it's okay. Would you ever use this thing with the double-edged sickle? Yes. And it does give you a little bit of resistance to a lot of enemy damage types. But honestly, it's sort of like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal. It's not particularly good. It's definitely like I'm putting in C tier here. It doesn't feel particularly great to use compared to anything else. No fun factor. No
I
no
could
real
like
hard counters here from this thing,
I could see
except
it
for the double
being
edge.
okay if like for some reason all our enemies are on one planet
Yeah, yeah.
and you just have a bunch of like things you have to defend against.
Yeah.
But like if that happens,
If
got
that
other
happens, we're
problems we
fucked.
gotta deal with. Yeah.
So I don't think a little 50% resistance is going to save you at that fucking point. So it's mid.
Damn straight.
It's mid. Next up, integrated explosives. Everyone knows this armor. It's the most patriotic armor you can wear. Armor explodes 1.5 seconds after the wearer dies. It's a big explosion. It'll kill your teammates. It's an S tier. There we go. Next up, last but not least, gunslinger. I
Honestly,
fuck with it so hard that we're gonna have to put it in A tier. Read these stat lines, okay? And then think of the senator. So, actually, let me see if there's the better looking armor here. Yeah, this shit. Okay, so look at this. Increases sidearm reload speed by 40%. Sidearm draw holster speed increased by 50%. Sidearm recoil reduced by 70%. You using that armor with a damn senator or even a verdict, it's amazing. I mean, it makes this weapon like at least twice as effective. You're getting 3 different buffs to sidearms. If you're a pistol user, if you're a big iron user, if you like using the pistols, this is the best passive you could ever ask for. And for that reason, and given how, the pistol is actually, Senator's fucking great. Verdict's shreds. A lot of these are decent weapons. Even the Crisper is all right. It doesn't exactly apply much to the Talon. It doesn't apply to all these perfectly, but even the Stim pistol will help the reload speed. And the Senator will especially help the reload speed. So it's just great for that.
I will say it doesn't really work for like a bunch of the secondaries, but I will say if you are trying to, put it together, it is pretty fun with the ones that it does work with. Like you can't do any of the melee, a bunch of the specials doesn't work, but I mean with all the other ones it's pretty fun. So
So I say, in its specific use case, like if you are using a Senator or even a
that's like
Verdict,
the only reason you'd go it. So like
yeah,
really,
it's like why
it
else
is
would you
pretty
use it?
good.
So good point. Yeah, why else would you use this thing if you're not using those guns? So in the case that you would use it, it's really good.
I'd say it's pretty useful for second, especially if they come out with more secondaries that are pretty good. It's going to be a lot more fun.
It's like what I'm looking at what we have in Edge here. We have Medkit, Scout, and Inflammable. I think Gunslinger fits right up there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we'll put Peak Physique at high B because melee has got a lot of aura. But other than this is the final tier list. So in S tier we have Fortified, Siege Ready, Integrated Explosives. Actually, Integrated Explosives should be at the very top. And in A tier we have Gunslinger, Medkit, Scout, and Inflammable. In B we have Peak Physique, Extra Padding, Democracy Protects, Engineering Kit, and Advanced Filtration. In C we have Acclimated and Servo Assisted. And in F we have Electrical Conduit and Unflinching. So we got a pretty nice curve here. There's more useful armors than there are terrible armors, but it's not by that much. And then there's a lot of middle-of-the-road armors, I'd say. But all in all, this is the official, objectively correct tier list. If anybody else has a different opinion, they're wrong. There we go. Thanks for watching.
I agree.